Hello there, this is Kathy Crow at the Crow Cottage, and today we have some roofers over on the neighbor's roof hammering away. So you might hear some of that activity. Every day I start my day thinking that somebody's knocking at my door. This morning I thought, it's pretty early. They can't be knocking on my door. And I was in my robe. Crept out and kind of peeked so no one could see me. So I wouldn't answer the door, of course, if there was anyone in my robe. Oh, well. And of course it was no one. It was just the roofers. But they are right over there. So I don't know what's going on. We've had really dry weather, so I'm glad, because if that guy is having roofing issues, I'm sorry, because they've been on his roof for quite a while. Our houses are really tiny. Like, this house originally was probably about 1,100 square feet, if that, and only a little tiny bit was added on. And so it's not a lot of roof to cover, and they've been over there for days. So, well, anyway, maybe he's getting an addition. That would be nice. Today is going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be fun. Oh, I forgot to even put my computer up. I'll have to do that. And yeah, I thought I had it all together here, but I don't, because I wasn't really too worried about it. As a matter of fact, we are going to play. Today is a day to play, because sometimes when you do your stamps online like this, you already know what you're going to do. And I like to live dangerously. So today we're going to use frosted foliage. This is one of our new ones. We're also going to use First Frost with it. This is last year's Frosty set, which I really liked. And then Inspiring Iris. And I don't remember when this came out. I'm not sure if this is I think this is a brand new one this year. But I love it. It's really pretty. And just to get our Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving to you, we will include our Happy Thanksgiving somewhere in it from the Day of Thanks. Okay. So we have a whole lot of things to do, and I am going to go ahead and get started. I do need to go get my computer. So you're going to get the pleasure of looking at my desk for a minute while I get that set up, and I'm hoping that my camera won't mind me moving it with my hand right over it. Now, I've given my desk a bit more room, because I was very tired of being confined into this very small space. So I do need to get my computer, though, to see what you can see. You should be able to see more. I've got more room. And you can see that I have been playing. So I've sort of left all my goodies that we're going to be working on. This is all of my practice. There's more. I've been practicing on many things. Over the weekend, I did this card, as well as a sympathy card. Now, this one could be a sympathy card, but it's a little bit more generic. So we're going to kind of do something along this line. So you can look at that for just a minute while I go get my computer set up, which I have to go all the way practically into another room to grab the table I have to set up to put it on, because I don't really have room to set it up in here ready to go without my little teeny tiny table. All right, so anyhow, oh man, I hit my DVD drive, and I think I hit it numerous times apparently, because it keeps trying to open up here, and I don't want you to open DVD drive. You need to just stay put. Okay, so excuse me while I am over here dinking around. I'm really sorry that I thought I was going to be able to just get going. Okay, so today is going to be different. You know what? This whole week is going to be different for a whole bunch of people, because it is the Thanksgiving week. Jeff he won't be home on Wednesday as early as I thought he would be, since he's a teacher. I thought he would be home maybe a little bit earlier, but he is going to be going to our youth group football thing. They do, what do they call it? I kind of forget now what they call it. But they have a football thing that they do, and he said that thankfully they know now that he is not going to be playing with them. He's going to be enjoying that with them, but he's not going to actually be playing with them. I was grateful to hear that they've decided he doesn't have to play. I don't think he has for a while, but like we're getting way too old for that sort of thing, and he kind of stopped doing that a long time ago, I think, as far as playing. So that's good. And then after this, after I get done here today, we also are going to I'm going to do my drawing for last week, because I went online this morning already and found out who shared last week's video. Thank you so much for sharing. Make sure you share this one, and then we will see who won the drawing. So I could have flipped my paper over to start on it fresh, but I really actually I love this stamp set. There's just so many fun things you can do with it. So this is just all of my stamping off, because we are going to stamp off quite a bit. Now this is the Feels Like Frost paper, and I've showed it to you before. I decided I wanted to use one of the pieces as a background today, but you know, it was really hard for me to pick one. I'm going to bring the camera down lower. If you have not got this paper, I couldn't find a sheet. Normally it's easy to find a sheet that I don't want the one side of. But every single, like this is the one I wanted to use. But when I turned it over, I just thought, no, I can't give up the pine bough. Can't give up that beautiful pink leaf. Can't give that one up. Can't give that one up. Every single sheet, and I do have extras of some, now not all, because I'm using this in one of my classes. I think we're using this in the still scenes class, so I didn't have extra sheets of, like, this one's really pretty. I would have liked to have used that one. I would have liked to have used that one. These are gorgeous on this side. But I decided as I was looking at these, you know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make all of these cards are going to be Z-fold cards of some kind, where I can use the front and the back, because it's going to be really hard for me to give any of these up. They're just too gorgeous. They're all beautiful. I guess I could have used, no, I love the sun dots on it. This is the only one I could sacrifice. And this is a really good one too. It's not like, but I do have more of it, so at least I'm not giving it up entirely, because some of these sheets I only had maybe this one I only had a little bit, so I couldn't sacrifice it. But today we're doing some purple stuff, so I actually did want to use that. I'll keep it on top. I do have another sheet of it, so I could use it. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. All right, so let me bump it up a bit so that you can see more of what I'm seeing. So we will use this side. All right, so that's the first frost. If you place an order in my store, make sure you use the host code, and I will send you 5 free Christmas cards with envelopes. I'm making all kinds of Christmas cards, and they're all beautiful. You would love whatever you got. I'm not going to make any promises for what one that I would do, but it would be nice, I know. Now, I am going to just start on a big sheet of paper. That way I guess I can cut it in half. Maybe I can limit myself to half. Hi, Marla. Thank you for watching with me. You know what? I think, Marla, for some reason I am not seeing your comments. If you're commenting, I just happened to be looking there and saw that you were on. My computer over here, you must not be a friend of Jeff Crow. For some reason, a lot of the time, my it doesn't show comments from people unless because this Kathy Crow's page is off of off of my husband's page, Jeff Crow. So you actually have to be a friend of Jeff Crow in order to sometimes be seen. So if I don't comment that I see you, well, it isn't because I'm trying to ignore you. It's just that you must not be a friend of my husband. So I would love to, for everyone. He doesn't even use his page hardly anymore. It's pretty much mine. He teases me that I've taken over his Facebook page, and I kind of have. I could start over again. I keep telling him I can do another page. I don't have to do it on your page, but he really doesn't care. So, oh good, I see you now, Marla. And you're not a friend of him. Maybe you don't want to be. He actually is a really nice guy. You would. Of the two of us, I am the mean one. He's the nice one. I am the mean one. And our kids wouldn't. I was probably easier for them to get around, but in general, I'm the one that says, no, we cannot do that. He would say yes to absolutely everything. So you're in Oklahoma. I bet you're with family. Enjoy the holidays, Marla. I bet you are enjoying that. In Oklahoma, it should be pretty nice. But your weather is great today. We've got sunny weather. It's probably 50-something. It's supposed to be nice. I'm definitely going to go out on a bike ride. I think the wind calmed down. It was a tiny bit windy earlier. And so anyhow, let's get started. So, frosted foliage. All right, so what I decided I needed to do with this stamp set is I wanted my flowers are actually going to be the center, the focal point. I want them to be the flowers, and I ended up deciding I like the carnation, but not in this bundle. I mean, not in this grouping, this mix. I think we'll stick with something more like this. And so I'm just going to start with a group of 3 of these flowers. Now, when I was working with these flowers, I decided to do a little bit of surgery on them. You never saw his name. Oh, okay. Okay, well, you could, anyway, I can see you, so that's the important thing. Now, so with this stamp set, Inspiring Iris, I'm starting with that because I like the flowers in this one. This flower is really great, but I don't want, the leaf and the flower are separate when you're doing the fill, which is wonderful. And I decided to doctor my stamp and create that for this one too. It actually comes together as one, but I cut the flower off. Now this is an easier thing to do in these days. In the past, let me see if I have a set handy here. I don't know that I do. In the past, we had a great many stamps. Boy, I don't see one. Actually, I might see one way in the bottom, but it'd be hard to get to. So I, would cut them apart, but the problem is that in the old days when you cut, hard to get that back in there. When you cut your stamps apart, like I've got it in that bin because I could pick the bin up and carry it to church because I did a lot of things at our church. Then my pieces would get separated and I wouldn't really remember which set, what piece went with which set. And then after you've doctored it up, you can't even tell exactly what stamp it was. So originally, so this is good. The stamps stick right in your case. I'm never going to lose the little leaf I cut off from this flower. So it's a little safer to do that these days. So what I'm going to start with is, let's move some of these things out of the way. I've actually got some room, and so that is nice. I don't know if I'm going to utilize the room any more efficiently, but I am going to use Purple Posy. Now, you don't have to. The Highland Heather is pretty close to it, and I am going to start with my Highland Heather as the outline with the outline flower. And then I'll use the Purple Posy for the fill, but you can actually just use the Highland Heather as the fill part of the color too. So just so that you know, you do not have to have Purple Posy in case you don't, because Purple Posy, of course, was discontinued. So I'm going to just start with stamping some random 3 flowers right there. Okay, and then we're going to do the fill part. Let me grab this is the little fill part, and you could just use your Highland Heather again and stamp off one time and stamp it. In fact, I'll just do that for one of them. There is a little divot that helps you figure out where you line this up. There's a little divot in this flower. Here, let me bring this down so you can see what I'm talking about. See if I'm in the shot at all. There's this little divot on the flower, and you can see the little divot a little better from the bottom of your stamp, and then you just line that up on it, and it'll fill that in really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to push this back up again, and I'm going to close this up. I'm going to get it out again, but for now I'm going to close it up because I'm afraid I'll have all kinds of trouble. So I'm going to use Purple Posy as the fill color, and it's pretty strong right off, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to have to get my head in here. I'm terribly sorry, but this is one that I can't really do without getting my head right in here on it. Then I have to figure out again, where's the divot again? Oh yeah, there it is. It's this divot. Anyway, you'll figure it out when you get it. And if, like this one, I actually turned it wrong and got the wrong divot in there, so it wasn't perfect, but it was close enough. You know, still not bad. This actually was correct, so it fills it perfectly. So if you just keep turning your stamp, but the largest little sharp inlet, if you want to call it, on the petal actually aligns with this. Let's see if you can see. Not sure if I'm showing it at all because it's hard for me to see what you see. Like, where are you, camera? Oh, there you are. Okay, so you can see that it's kind of like a little divot there. Anyway, that's the one that aligns with it. There's another one too, so it's like sort of confusing. It's like I can't tell. It took me a long time just to figure that out. All right. So this is why you want to play. You never want to just, with these kinds of stamps, these are like watercolor stamps almost, and you don't want to rush it. This is one of those. I'm going to just play with this stamp set for a while to figure out what I like in it and what I want to use and what I don't want to use. All right, so now that we have that part done, the next thing that I wanted to do is, I really loved this little bauble guy. These are like very giant beauty berry, or they could be holly sprigs. There's beauty berry comes in white, pink, purple. Then there's all the pyracantha bushes that have yellow and red and orange. So really your color palette can be anything with these. So that's nice. We're going to stick with purple and silver today. And there's silver berries out there too. So anyhow, but this one is a really large stamp. So to use this one, I am only using the top. And to remind myself that I'm only using the top, I'm sticking it half off my block. Because if I just stick it on the block, I'm going to forget. And I'm going to ink up too much of it. I only want to ink up just this top part. And then I'm going to just stick that on here. Because if I ink up that whole thing, I'm going to end up getting it... It's going to come down into my flower where I don't want it. So this way I can kind of position it the way I want. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're gonna, the bottom is negligible. It's gonna either get cut off or covered. So I don't really have to worry too much about what the bottom looks like. And I've already got a purple smudge on the bottom, so I can see that part's going to have to go. And then the other part, this is the frosted foliage now. I'm into that. I'm doing, again, Inspiring Iris, frosted foliage, and First Frost. And I wanted to use this little stamp. This is a really cute one. And, ooh, Marla, do you know, it looks almost like, what is that one? Like dill. It looks like dill to me, but it's not. And so anyway, I am using a silver pad. I'm not even going to show you the name. It is not our delicata. I do not have the silver delicata. I thought I did, but I don't. So anyway, I am going to use the same principle, putting my stamp half on and half off my block, because I only want to stamp. And actually, since I'm doing this one in silver, I want to do my silver ones last. So let's hang on to that one. Just because I had frosted foliage out, I thought I needed to use it next, but I don't want to, because I actually want to use this little thistle guy. Now the thistle in First Frost is so cute. Look at him. He is really cute. So we're going to use that. We're going to just stick him like that too, because I don't want, I just want to use the top. So we'll just stick a few of them on there. The trouble with doing it like that is that, you know, sometimes I don't stamp quite as much of the stem as I do want, but that's okay, because if I do want to get more of the stem, I can reposition him, get a little bit more stem, and then just kind of go in again, nearby the one that I did, okay? I think I actually want a little bit of a darker one as well. We're going to put a couple of those on. I really like these. These are cute. As a gardener, I better clean that. I love thistles. They're sort of a love-hate gardener plant, because I think all of them are major seed problem childs. That's not really a word, okay? I know that. I'm just saying it. Okay. We'll just do the one, because I don't really have room for another one. I'm, you know, this is the problem with playing. You can add way too much, and that happens a lot. Okay, then this spray, this baby's breath spray. Oh, so pretty. This one's definitely going to be silver. And I'm really, really going to be strict with myself. I only want to use these guys right there. Now with your silver, you can kind of cover up some errors that you've done. And I don't have a lot going on here yet. I actually could have added in a little bit more, but I'm a little hesitant to until I get some of this in. So maybe I'll give myself just a little more room and throw in a couple of these darker. And I can kind of fill in a little bit where I've got some blank space. I'm hesitant on that one. That one might be too much. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do my edge again. Or I haven't done it yet, but we're going to get the edge in. The problem with getting your stamp half on and half off your block is that it can actually fall off. That's no good. So can you see what's happening here? By not getting my whole stamp done, I can just limit. I don't have to wipe it off. If you're you know, not stamping a whole bunch of times, then you can simplify this by just, you know, taking your sponge thing and wiping off the part you don't want to use. But I'm actually gonna go nuts here on my silver spray, and I want to put quite a bit in there. So I don't want to be wiping. Okay, we're gonna do one more with the stem this time, or at least part of the stem, right there. Okay, so anyway, as you can see, the silver is much less or much more opaque, so you can kind of go right over your flower a little bit. All right, and then where's that other flower? Our inspiring iris. Let's see, we have a smaller one in the first frost, so I think I'm going to grab that out. It's very similar to this, so you can kind of mix and match them. And we'll just stick a couple of those in there. And again, this is going to be covered up anyhow, but well, actually I might want to use one of my other ones for that. I don't really want a whole bunch of that up there. Okay. All right, finally done with that part. And now you get to see how fun it is to fill this in, because Inspiring Iris has all these little dots. Okay, so we'll take this little 5-dot circular part, and we're going to use that around these flowers just to darken up that center a little bit. Okay, isn't that cute? So cute. I don't know if you can really tell how cute this is. It is, though. Take my word for it. And then there's another little circular dot. That's the actual center. And we're going to use silver for that, because I want this to be shiny. This is going to be a shiny card. We're going to put this on. Oops, I missed the circle. I'm like way away from the card, so I can't even see where I'm stamping. Now, if you wanted to, you could use your circle to stamp your berries. It fits it, the big ones. Perfect if you can see to get it on there. But I don't want all those silver, but it would be okay to do some of them silver. I did do some of them silver. But if you just take your, now I'm going to have to get this up so I can see. Here, let me move you down. Then I don't have to worry so much about getting my head in, but I can hopefully line it up. If you actually line it up, it lines up, and you can fill your, it's just really hard to do this when I'm not able to get my head right over it. Okay, so as you can see, you can fill your little berries in without having to color every one. Although, to be perfectly honest, to color it in would be so quick that I don't know that that actually is a time savings at all. It's just kind of fun to do. All right, so now that I've started, though, I kind of have to complete the task. And you can just go stamp, 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 and get some of them a little lighter and some of them a little darker. I mean, that looks really good, too. So you don't have to dip into your ink pad every time. And that saves a bit of time as well. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so we have that, and then let's see, what else am I missing? Oh yes. Now this has where is it? I thought, oh no, I guess it's just this one, and I don't really want to use that one. But you could use the tiny little circular one that I did on the center. If you want to, I would stamp off so it's not, you can kind of add a little bit of an extra color. If you'd like, if you don't have, I have so many different flower stamps. If I wanted to fill in some there, I easily could with my first frost and whatnot. But if you don't, there are other things you can do. And you can use your leaves with the first one that I did, card that I was playing with this set. I took my little leaf, and especially now that he's cut off, this would be easier to use. You could easily add in some leaves, and that would sort of fill this in too, if you're worried about that. But actually, I like it just as it is. The leaf has a nice little fill also. And it is much easier to line up than than that other one, so that helps. Okay, so we are done with that part of the stamping. I'm gonna take these and set them aside because I'm going on. We're not gonna do just that one. I'm gonna I'll just flip it over because I wanted to use the iris. That iris is really pretty too. So we'll take the background iris, and this time we're gonna use, actually we probably won't be using that silver anymore. So we'll stick that over there. We're gonna use Melon Mambo. And we're gonna just use Melon Mambo for now. I doctored this one up too, because after I stamped it, I realized I kind of need your iris stems to be separate from the iris. So I took all of my little stems apart, which meant I had to cut 3 times to get all those little stems off and be able to still use them. And we will be using them. So we're gonna just start with our iris like this. And I think we will do one more, but just one. So let's get just that one in. And where do we want you? Let's stick you up here. Okay. And then we'll get the fill part. Now, I didn't separate the irises. You could if you wanted to, but I didn't. And we're gonna stamp that off 3 times. Let me see here. I kind of missed. I missed. I'm not sure how I managed to, but I did. It still looks fine, and it's going to be fine, but I did miss. And then I do need to clean off too that bottom one. I only want that top one, so let me clean that off. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it won't smudge it. It might, because it's pretty damp. And this being the reds are really moist, if you will. All right. Okay, so the beautiful thing about a watery color thing is it doesn't matter if you do miss. And it kind of goes off all over the place. It's, gonna be fine anyway. It's a watercolor, right? All right, and then now you get to put in your little stems. So now I have to figure out, well, okay, what are my stems? Where are they? And this is one that was at the bottom of the flower, and I really only need to use, I don't even know if I need to use that one at all. Let's see. Now this is the one that has the bud on it. So I do want the little bud, but I just want the top part. We're gonna get our Call Me Clover out. This is not gonna be a holiday one at all. This is just a generic one. Okay, and I think that's pretty bright, so we're gonna stamp that one off. And gonna go like that. And we'll do another one right up here. Okay, so I don't really need that anymore. So anyhow, as you can see, when you doctor your stamps up, you can do, there's just all kinds of things you can do with them. Let's see if I can fit this one in. I don't know if I really can. Let's put just the bottom on here. We're gonna do a little double stamp here. We're gonna do one there, and we'll do another one here. Like that. And then maybe one more right there. Oh, better do one more right there too, because I kind of need to have need a little bit more there. And we'll use a pen to fill in that. I'm afraid if I use my stamp, I'll probably make a smudge there. And I can fill in with a pen. All right, now this leaf has a little fill also. It's not just the outline. So we will have to stamp off quite a bit. I don't want a lot of green on there. Now this one is not the same one. I better get the other one for that. And then I have to find it. Where is it? The little fill part for the stem is actually part of a flower, I think. I'm not sure on that one. I'm afraid I'll mess it up because I don't see that one. Is that it? That's it. I think that's it. Okay, well, we'll try it and we'll see. This looks like a little bud of some kind. Oh, yep, that's it. It actually goes up pretty high onto the flower. So I don't really want it. It's actually, it's fine for this one, but, so I just need the top part here. I'm just sort of using it to fill in a little bit there because there we go. I couldn't figure it out. All right, so we got that one all done. So on Thanksgiving, I think I still have to call a couple of places. So we found out IHOP is open. It's open till 1. Our son, though, has to work Wednesday and he has to work Friday as well. And he said it was pretty funny because where he's working, they are shorthanded apparently right at the moment. And so they actually are making them work overtime. I mean, they're going to get paid overtime, so that's good, but they're going to have to work. He had to actually work one of his days off this week, so I'm not sure if he appreciated having a holiday. It was like, well, I might have been able to relax more if I had not had a holiday, but he's young. It's fine. The problem when I take my stamps apart like this is that I cannot figure out how to get them back into the case so that they all fit, because it would be more condensed if it was actually connected there. Okay. Whew. All right, so that is that one, and we are gonna put that one aside because I'm still not done playing. I also wanted to do this one. And this one, because this one could be a more traditional Christmas one. I did use this Call Me Clover for it, but after I used it, I realized, my stamp pads actually, the color I want is probably more of this shaded spruce, so we'll use that instead. And Poppy Parade, I wanted something very bright because, they're flowers, so I want them to be bright. So again, getting out this Inspiring Iris, and we're going to just outline it with Poppy Parade. And your flower, you can just be pretty random, however you want to. This is the fun thing about this, just playing. You're just playing with it. It can be however you want. And somebody said to me, Kathy, when you make a card, have you ever just thrown it away? It's like, yes. Sometimes nothing you do really is going to improve that card. I mean, you could work on it forever if you want to, but sometimes I've screwed it up so bad, there is just no no redeeming it. So I do. Many times I've just decided, you know what? I just worked really hard on this card, but I don't like it at all. And I wouldn't want to give it to anyone, so I am going to just throw it away. It happens. All right, so now to find that divot again in the flower so I can, and I know my head's getting in the way, but I'm sorry. Even with my head in the way, it still doesn't always go perfect, but it's okay. Again, with my pen, I can kind of fix it, or I can just leave it. It's a pretty stamp. It doesn't really have to even be perfect. I do really like this little tiny center to be darker. It's real pretty, but it does need to be like right over the center, so I gotta get my head in there. It's like, trying to get it in and out of there fast so you're not blocked from seeing what I'm doing. And then because this is going to be more Christmassy, I want it to be gold. So I can get out my gold delicata, and we will get the little gold center stamp out, the little gold dot, and we'll stick that right in the middle. And it's so bright and shiny. I like it. It's pretty. I think of all the flower fills, I decided I like that baby's breath and the thorns the best. So we're just doing that. And actually this is a good Christmas theme. The thorns for the crown of thorns obviously look a lot different, and if you were trying to mimic that, you would not like that. But oops, I'm just sticking a little thorn out there. We'll get another one in here like that. And maybe we'll stick one on the side here. No, that won't work here. There's not quite enough room for you on the side. Now your delicata, it's metallic, so you do have to work on cleaning that stamp a little more than, and if it leaves a little bit, it'll be fine. But do try to clean it all off. You can get it all off if you get to it pretty fast. And then this is the most ideal little baby's breath. I love it. It's so pretty. I do like to use just the side of it. It's a little easier for me to place, my spray if I have just a part of it. Especially for these first initial ones. Then you can stick your whole stamp on there and go for it. Once you've got those upper ones done. I don't want to do another one because I'm afraid that'll just be too much. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Although I'm thinking I want some fill in there. But we're still going to put our little stems in. So this little baby's breath is the one that's a little harder to clean because it's got all those little... And you can see I've trimmed my stamps. Now, most of our stamps we don't have to. But some of these more delicate ones, I don't have to do it usually with the photopolymers. But I think it's just because there's so many more layers to these rubber stamps that there's a lot more smudging of sides. I get the sides smudged in. So you can see I've trimmed pretty much all of these. And I stamped them first to see if I actually had to. And I did. I was getting a lot of edge if I didn't do that. So feel free to do that if you need to. Still looking for my little stem for this flower. What are we gonna use? We don't have to use the stem it came with. I actually can use my, oh, I've got carnations in here, that's right, but I decided I didn't want to use those. So let's see, what are we gonna do instead? La la la, how about we stick in the actual flower leaf that this came with. Let's see how that looks. We'll just do a couple of those. Where to put you? I don't really want you blocking all of my lovely gold. I don't want too many of you either. Okay, that's good. And again, the bottom's going to get cut off, so I don't have to worry about how that looks. I do like this green, I think, a little bit better with for this card. And then this is the fill part. Now, if I wanted to get really fancy, I could probably use that gold. That might be really pretty. Okay, so I'm just stamping off so that it's not quite so dark. I kind of have to pull it over. I'm sorry, I know you probably couldn't see what I was doing, but if I don't get it pretty close to me here, I'm gonna totally screw this up. Okay, there we go. Oh, so cute. Now we're gonna stick a label on it. So that's another reason. I don't need to worry about this center stuff too much. Sometimes when I'm doing a card like this and I go to a lot of work and time to get this all right, and then I stick a label on it and I think, well, shoot, I didn't have to work that hard on it. I ended up covering up most of it, but yeah, it doesn't, that's okay. So these are the ones we've done so far. We're not done with them, but we're going to turn these into actual cards. And I do just need to get some of my things put away, so I don't stick my finger in all of that. All right, now what are we going to do? Oh, I never did my sea spray one. I did want to do one more. Do I have time? What time is it? Oh, I don't have time to, so I'll never get them finished if I do that. I did want to do the sea spray one because I really liked it. That's the one that was going to go on silver, but I can do this on the silver anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to just take my cutting machine. Oh, where's my cutting board? What did I put? Oh, there you are. We're going to just take you, and let's move you up a bit. And we're going to just trim it up. Again, I'm not going to worry about dimensions and all of that. We're just going to have fun with this card. I'm just going to put it together. This is oftentimes how I do a card. I don't worry about what the sizes are and all of that. I just put it together. And this is the, now that's Melon Mambo. This is our Christmas, our Holly Jolly Christmas DSP. I thought that might be really pretty with this. I do kind of like it. It's nice. Let me see if I've got, I brought a bunch of colors over here. So let's look and see if I prefer to just have my, I think I might prefer to have just a straight color border. I usually prefer just a straight color border. I think it's because I'm such a, I don't know, I'm a super traditionalist. So I think that's usually why I do prefer that. So we're just going to put some glue on here. Don't have to be too careful about it. It's just going to go on the edge like that. Okay, and then we'll trim that up. Again, not too worried about, you know, I'm not too worried about my paper dimensions. Just trying to get my edges to be close to similar. And you can always use up all your scraps. If I have a lot of scraps left over, that just means I am going to have a lot of label cutting in the evening, which is fine. While I'm watching TV, I can cut some labels. That's not quite straight, and it also wasn't quite close enough. Now that was a little too close, but that's okay. We're kind of just winging it here, so I don't want to get too carried away with perfectionism. Okay, so that is that. And then this one would have to go on gold. I think I might have forgotten to bring, oh, no, there we go. There's some over here. I brought over a whole bunch of my embossed things. So I've got all kinds of colors, and I think I've got a gold in here somewhere. Aha, so there is some tin tile I did on gold at some point in time. And I think that'll look really nice on a card, won't it? So we'll put that on there. And then let's get some of my pieces away. This is the trouble. You start piling a whole bunch of pieces of stuff all over. And I've got like 3 boxes of scraps over there because I've been making a lot of cards just because it's Christmas time and all. So all of these, you know what, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Ah, there we go. All right, so we'll trim this. We do want this to be a standard size. So we'll, first of all, trim this side. Now, since I have already embossed it, sometimes when I go to trim the edge, it will snag and catch. So when it's already embossed, a lot of times I will start in the center and go up and down just to make sure it doesn't catch on all those edges. You can see my pattern's a little bit off, but this is mostly going to be covered anyway, so it's not going to matter. We'll go ahead and trim it down to 4 1/4. This is going to be a standard size card. And it barely fits on there, but it does. I don't really need it to have a whole lot of that gold edging. And that way I can cut my cardstock, just the standard 5 1/2, and score it at 4 1/4. And we'll score this one also at 4 1/4, and then we'll be able to assemble these cards very quickly. Okay, and a bit of ribbon is always good, but I think we'll worry about that in a moment. I'm going to set that one up there, and we'll get another one of these going. Get the little purple one going. I think I'm going to trim this one down closer to those flowers because I want to get my little smudge off that I had at the bottom there. I do really like that thistle on the side, so I don't want to cut that off. But we can take a pretty good amount off the top and the sides there. Oh, we could take more than that off. Yeah, that doesn't look centered anymore. Now we're going to have to take off some of my thistle. That didn't quite look right otherwise. And then let's trim up my Melon Mambo one. This one's going to end up being, I can see I'm going to have to put a label here since I've got a slight smudge, and I don't think I want to cut that far down. I don't think I can cut that out. It's too close to that. So this is partly why I'm doing this video, just to show you that yes, you can ruin your card and it will be beautiful. You just make it work. Keep going, it'll be fine. Just keep working on it. Oh, this is the extra one that I didn't even just do. This is from earlier this morning when I was playing around, so I don't really even need to be doing this one, but oh well, we've already got it going, so we will. Got that one trimmed. I'm just trimming everything. Okay. So we got all of those trimmed. Let me get my scraps out of the way. And this is a piece of Melon Mambo DSP. I thought that would be cute. I do have my, you know, one I did on the side here. Again, I'm going to look and see if I might prefer it like that. Or, let's see if I prefer it like that. No, I definitely prefer it like that. So we're going to go ahead and put it on a piece like that. And I believe I've got something close over here that's too dark. I've got another tin tile ready to go, which I could use. I also have I like that. I want a bigger piece because I want to put a label right there to cover up my smudge. So this is probably what we'll stick with, is this. Okay, so let us cut this size. Now we'll go ahead and just make this our basic card backing. So we'll cut this one. We're going to go this direction and cut it 4 1/4. Okay, I'm putting you up so you can kind of see more of what I'm doing. My desk space is probably... I'm going to have to get used to being able to use more of the desk, but still keep the camera in view. Okay, so we just did 4 1/4 by 5 with a vertical layout. And then we're going to want this. Oh, but I still want that too. So I want that, all that? I don't. I don't think I'll even use that DSP. I think we'll just stick with it like this. That'll be best. So then we will want this to be cut down quite a bit. So we want, well, let's see, 5 1/2 is what we've got. We probably are going to want to go not quite 5 1/4. Let's go 5 1/8. And then instead of 4 inches like I normally would do, we will go with 3. I've got a little edge there I need to trim off. So let's just start by trimming that side and then we'll bring it over here and we'll do 3 7/8 actually. Okay, and then we'll see how that looks. Perfect. Because then I'll have plenty of room to put a small label right there. And a ribbon if I want to. Okay, so that one's, you know, getting there, almost done. And there's that host code if you want to do it. Okay, so we've got a catalog coming up pretty soon. A lot of the demonstrators are all excited looking at all of those of us who have gotten our catalog. I can't believe that some of us have not yet. That's always disappointing. But be ready for that. That'll be coming up in January. You'll be able to order from the new catalog. I don't think I like the tufted as much with that. And I brought over a couple of colors that I've done, and I think this lighter one might be closer to Purple Posy. It actually is not Purple Posy, but it's close. Ooh, that one's even closer though. We'll go with that. I kind of liked the silver though. I wanted some silver on it. I kind of like that. I think I might use that. Okay, so we'll get all these things out of the way. And we'll want this to be as big as possible. So we'll want it to be 5 1/2. This is the one that really eats up when you trim it after you've embossed. So this is this country, any of these that are more raised than others. This one's a very raised one. And then we need this side to be 4 1/4. There we go. Okay, so that should match this card pretty well. And then we're wanting this one to be, well, actually, let's just go ahead and stick this on with some dimensionals. Where are you? Okay, let's put my glue bottle together here. And then I'll figure out what size I want it. Now, if I get this too high, it is hard to cut on the cutter, I realize, but I'm going to put enough of an edge I think will be safe. And if I have to, I can always hand trim it, which doesn't always work as well, but I can if I have to. All right. Thankfully, our new trimmer, you just witnessed it being able to cut that. And our old trimmer wouldn't have cut that because I've got several layers going here. And our old trimmer just would never have allowed me to do that. I really like our new trimmer. Now I'm going to have to, it's going to be tough. I am going to just start on this side. See if that's close to where I want it, because I don't want to rip it up. And this corrugated is notorious for, if you just ram it through there, it's probably gonna tear. Okay, that's gonna be good enough. I did trim a little bit there accidentally, but that's okay. Because they're off. It's like a I don't think it's crooked. I think my lines on this corrugated they weren't exactly straight on the card. As I think I put this on. It's so funny. It's like like one of those visual things. It's like, I think it's crooked, Mrs. Crow. My students at school would be saying, I think it's crooked, Mrs. Crow. And I would be saying, no, that's just your eyes. You're looking at it wrong. It's not crooked. It's just an optical illusion. It's fine. It could be crooked, but we're going to just call it an optical illusion and not worry about it. Okay, so now all I need is ribbon and we are all set. I am going to dash around and pick out some cute ribbon to go with our cards. It won't take me very long, I promise. Got my desk fixed with a new little setup here, so we'll see how it works. Let's see. I need to make sure I have plenty. Okay, so I've got some silver. I'm not sure if I want silver, but we've got silver. Let's see. We do have some melon mambo. And we have some really nice crinkly melon mambo. Let's see if that will match. Well, it looks like it's melon mambo, so that's good. And let's see. We're red. Or we could do green too. Let's see, what have we got here? Maybe we'll stick with some velvet. That might be nice. Oh, it's so hard to decide. Okay, I got it. It's gonna have to be our curly ribbon. I really like that curly ribbon. It's probably one of my all-time favorite ribbons that we've ever done. It's a pretty nice ribbon. It might not be perfect for this card, but I think we're going to use it anyway. Okay, and I am going to do a sentiment on here, but clearly this is taking a bit more time than I wanted to. I just kind of need to get the ribbon on so I can stick the card together. Very cute. I don't really like that curly ribbon. We might change that one out. Let's try this one and see how it looks. Okay, silver, silver, silver. You don't have to tie a bow, you know. You could just lay the ribbon on there. Might not even need it on this one, because this one's bottom was actually less messed up than the other one. So I can probably just put my ribbon on more like this under, you know, a tag. I think that might work. We might do that with that one. Let's see, how about this one? Let's see. Oh, askew is nice. I'm gonna have to put my label up here. I might want my ribbon running this direction. What do you think? I think we do. I think we want my ribbon running this direction. Okay, all of this just to get this ribbon on. It's mainly what I'm doing. Before I can, oops, let's get you opened up. There we go. Then we can actually get our card assembled. I just don't want to get it assembled and then find, uh-oh, I needed to put a ribbon on under there. That's what happens all the time. I don't want mini dimensionals. That is no good. All right, so I guess we are going, I don't think we're going to go to IHOP. I don't know. We might. I still have to call around and see what there might be some other places. We have one fancy place here in the Tri-Cities that has, you know, that is open, or was a while ago, but then they stopped doing it. And it's like, well, seriously, I don't think I'm the only person here in the Tri-Cities that does not want to cook a nice Thanksgiving dinner, but I appreciate the fact that they are giving their employees the time off. Like I'm glad our son has the day off. So I don't really, I don't feel badly that people have the day off. I'm glad for them, but I still would like to be able to eat out. That's all. So we'll see. I told the family then, all right, if we can't eat out, we will go out for breakfast, because I know these places are open for breakfast. So we will go out for breakfast, and I will buy Chicken Shack chicken the day before, and I will make the other things. I asked Jeff, what do you absolutely have to have? And we will have those things, because I'm not doing all the Jell-O salad and all that stuff that we don't always like anyway. It's not that great. And Jeff and I have changed our eating habits so much that we're really careful about what, you know, what we eat, because as far as if it's high in calorie, and it had better taste really good to us, because we are limiting our calories. So it's like, it better taste really good if it's a high calorie food. And if it doesn't, I don't want it. I will wait and eat the thing that I really like if I'm going to be having a lot of calories. And I'm sure other people are like that and have always been like that. I just was too dumb to know that I could do that and just eat the things that I like to eat that are high calorie. I don't have to have everything everybody says. It's the old, you've got to clean everything off of your plate syndrome that many of us grew up being told. And that's part of the reason we have such a huge weight problem, is we've been made to clean our plate since we were a child. And apparently our plates were we're really full, overly full. Because clearly that's a principle that's not a bad principle, just eating too much. You can't put that much on a plate. Okay. Now we'll put this ribbon with this and put it aside. And then this one, I still haven't decided on this one. I should have brought my gold ribbon over too, because I'm thinking the gold ribbon would look better. So let's see, what have we got over here? I've got a lot of gold ribbon, but I've rearranged my ribbons over here, so it's harder for me to spot them. I think we'll go with a really skinny one, and we'll make it work. That skinny one. So many pretty color gold on, a lot of gold on there. Really want to cover it all up. And I do kind of want to have it wrapped around. This one actually has a nice little stem on it. So we'll just make the most of it. It's like when you're teaching your kids anything, reading, math, you're supposed to find what they're good at. As an educator, this is one of the things that we were taught to do when you're doing remedial things with kids to try to get them to do better. Most of the kids that I worked with were only having trouble because they just flat out didn't want to work. It had nothing to do with the fact that they couldn't do it, that they were cognitively, had problems. It was mostly just the fact they didn't want to do it. So with those kids, this was also an effective strategy, though. You find the thing that they're good at, and you use it to build more skills. Okay, I mean, it sounds simple, but it actually is a difficult thing to do. Some of those kids, they think they can't do anything well, and that's part of the reason they've decided they just don't want to do it, is because they think they can't do it well. Like, I can't tie this bow. Can't tie this bow. You can do it. This is a hard one because this is so skinny. But there is an easier way, and if I have to do the easier way, I can do it. And actually, maybe I should show it to you. Okay, we'll do it the easier way. You can just... Here, let's bring it down. Tie your little bow. No, is that how you do it? No, you got to tie it on this end if you're going to do it this way. So you just pretend you're doing a shoelace. And you tie your bow. And it'll probably look a heck of a lot nicer than this is going to look. But, there we go. Yes, I think. No, oops, I lost an end. Let me try that again. An end somehow flew out. Some of these ribbons are not as easy to use, apparently. I thought they were all the same, but I guess they're not. Okay, so we will start tying the bow again. This time I'll give myself a little bit more. What's happening is it's not cooperating is what's happening. This is not meant to be, apparently. Okay, there. Whew, did we get a bow tied? I don't know. It looks unidentifiable as a bow. Okay, there we go. Whew, that was difficult. I think it's the skinny ribbon. I shouldn't be demonstrating with it, apparently, because look at that. I keep getting a bow, and then it keeps trying to escape me. Wow, you are problematic, bow. What's the matter with you? I don't think I've ever had this much difficulty with a bow before. Where's the other end? Did it almost come out? Shh, where are you? I guess this is you. There we are, okay. Oh my goodness, it keeps trying to, I'm gonna have nothing to work with here very soon. Okay, if I can just get it to be in a bow shape, even close to a bow shape. Oh my goodness. So this skinny ribbon, apparently this is a 2-person team kind of ribbon. All right, it tied. I have very little to work with, but I think this will still work. So once you get that done, you can clip it. Now, I didn't leave myself a lot of room because I knew I didn't have much room because it was not working well. And then you can fasten it with tape on the back. Okay. My goodness gracious. Now to figure out which side was which. It was not the nice long one. I wish it was. It's this little teeny tiny piece there. Okay. Whew. That was difficult. And not that one, but this one. Right there. All right. Wow. All that trouble for a little bow. But anyway, that is another way of tying a bow if you're having trouble like I was doing. All right, now we can get some dimensionals on that. That was amazingly difficult. Oh my goodness, I almost lost it there. Get you back on there. All right. Whew, I think we're almost done. Now, I haven't done any of my labels. I do have a bunch of labels laying around. I could drag them out, but I think we're running short on time. And I really basically wanted to show that it is perfectly fine to just play and have fun making your cards. You don't have to have a plan. You can just sort of make it work as you go. Try not to get as much glue on as I just did. We'll scrape some of that in there. Oops, I think I got somewhere I don't want it. Got little dimensional pieces all over the place. I am going to have to trim an edge, it looks like. Okay, isn't that cute? All right, so we did it probably took me an hour and a half. I'm not really sure. Oh, this one's not done because I have to get my label actually on it, and then we can tie. I guess I can do a faux tie here. This crinkly ribbon is much easier to tie into a bow, and it's very forgiving too. So that one I can undo again and put my label on, and it will look great. Here, let's take my paper and flip it over, and then you can see what we did. Okay? All right. So I am so happy with these. They turned out beautiful. Inspiring Iris has some really nice sentiments, like sending hugs, prayers, lots of love. I'm using that one a ton. I also, wishing you the best and thanks are wonderful. There's the you are somebody who makes everybody feel like somebody. I love that. This is a wonderful sentiment set. The First Frost has some really good ones too. And it has a good Christmas one if you want a more Christmassy theme, which I can do with this one if I want to. I could put the here is to a season filled with warmth, comfort, and good cheer right on that. And that would be another Christmas card. I probably will do that. This one also has a lot of Christmas stuff, but the You Warm My Heart, you could use that any time of the winter. It'd be a winter one. All right, so I think we are gonna be done enough. I will put these cards on my website later, and then you can see. Hi, Trisha. It was nice to have you join me. Thank you so much. And I hope that you guys had a great time. I hope you're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. I'm sure that you will. Let me get rid of my message that came up here from someone. And then next week is another Monday again. That'll be good. On on Thursday, I hope that you have warm, fuzzy feelings with all of your kids. I know some of you are probably going to get to snuggle with some grandkids, so you really enjoy that. That is a huge blessing, and I'm so glad you're going to get to do that. If you're like me, you're going to be looking at wonderful pictures of them enjoying and talking to them. I know I'll have a chance to talk to all of my kids, and for our grandkids are really little, so mostly I will hear them in the background making a lot of noise. Our granddaughter's really cute. She likes to talk, and her thing is she just wants to hold the phone. I think talking to the person is like real low on the totem pole. It's like, I want that phone. It's real important. I don't know why. She doesn't really know why. It's just that it's a really important thing. She has to have it. So anyway, that makes it fun too, to try to keep her attention so she doesn't just take the phone and disappear with it. Her parents wouldn't let her, I know, but anyway, I think that's it. So you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.